I'm gonna start actually recording and doing electrical volt tests and whatnot on the different plasma capacitors and coils and magnetic structures that I've made as well. Shape is magnification, shape is resonance, and there is energy in shape. This tetrahedron I made just wrapping copper around this 3D printed one my friend made, putting the aluminum around it, just came to me one day. Every single person that's ever held it, when you put your hands over it, it starts generating heat underneath you, and like it gets so hot people can't hold it.
And that's just copper and like tin foil, yeah?
It's copper in triangle in tetrahedrons. Like I have to remake this one. It's bent now, so I'll show you the inside.
And that's
well, if you can see, it's like obviously. It's tetrahedron within tetrahedron. Exactly, right? And it's the structure of the universe and of dimensions, and it ties back into Walter Russell's octaves, as well as my Sir Isaac Newton research, and the famous painting with like the circle within the triangle within the square, and it keeps going up each dimension, and along it's the harmony of the spheres as well. It's the octave path in Walter Russell's vortex-based periodic table, and it goes back and forth, and the elements when they're forming take shape in order of whether they land in like a tetrahedron or a cube or a sphere or a rod, like whatever dimension number it is, right? And that's why you have the families of the elements as well, because they line up in that octave as it goes around.
Cool. So they self-assemble almost like cymatics.
Esoteric painting.
Sorry.
Yeah, and there's one really famous painting. I think it's actually associated with Sir Isaac Newton, of like a guy out in like a patio. There's a wall, and then there's like a compass, like the two arms going down into the circle and the triangle and the square, and then down by his feet there's a level, like a L bar, and then there's also, not too many people see it because it's small, but there is the hexagon, the pentagon, the octagon, the septicon as well, and it's showing the anode and the cathode going into the formation of the electrolysis cold fusion, and then how the element is going to form can be calculated on where it is in the vortex shape, whether it's in the first ring, the second ring, the third ring, and then what shape in the levels of shape geometric dimension they are, and that gives you your proportion. So it's actually an analog system of super advanced mathematics that the ancients understood, and it has to do with shapes incorporate against, it's literally the God code. It's the code of the universe of how geometry and patterns and fractals and everything form and operate and structure.
And so that's all to do with the base metals that you're using to turn into plasma, yeah? Like that depends what shape it will reach. So, because like as in the periodic table, that would mean that all metals basically are.
Yes. So Walter Russell drew a much better, realistic, accurate periodic table, and it is a vortex spiral going like larger and larger and larger out, and it's in that octave, so each family fits within it, and it's the perfect resonant. I'll be doing a full class on it, basically.
Yeah. We'll need to get into that.
It's gonna be part of a few
don't want to confuse people, but basically we have like a 7 octave music scale, and that all represents resonant frequency, and within those different frequencies,
and
different elements
it
fit
also
due to their vibration.
represents
Yeah,
sound as well.
the sound. Yeah, like where they're
And
vibrating.
sound as well.
Cool, and shape,
And
of
these are
course.
energies that are everywhere in the universe and can be turned into electrical energy so easily in so many different ways, but it's been blocked out of our knowledge because that is free energy. And when they say, ooh, free energy is impossible, no. Joseph F. Farrell says it best in an interview with Al at Forum Borealis, The Alchemy of Zero Point. And he says that the key to 0 point energy is a multi-dimensional circuit. And see what that is it's you're turning light or you're turning sound energy into electricity. It's an open circuit coming in. And so it's right. It's so simple, yet we've been taught and tricked not to understand it. And the thing is India, China, all the countries that we've shipped all our waste to, which are these amazing technological pieces of equipment, they get to scrap it, and then they're the ones that have figured everything out. They're actually now years ahead of us. If you check out, there's probably 50 YouTube channels between the South Asia countries that have 2 to 4 million followers each, and they're putting out a free energy device a week. So that's something I'm going to start doing, is reviewing them and taking them apart and trying to make them ourselves and replicating them.
Awesome.
And I'm going to start with simple ones and work our way up.
Yeah, no, I've seen quite a few of those
into
Indian guys, and with their alternator electric engines.
Yeah, you got
they were running drop
the
saws.
key with that is gyroscopic motion. It's gyroscopic motion, like your fidget spinner, but fidget spinners, you have to get the ones with bearings within it. The ones that are fake, they just have a plastic ring. That's not giving you that extra gravitational forces of rings spinning within rotation, within rotation, within rotation.
Oh, is that why they
you can actually feel the gravitation within it.
Yeah,
if you get the ones with actual ball bearings within them.
Okay, and so just doing that, you can generate electrical energy.
There's more to it, but you have to build a bigger open circuit. So something where you attach like a magnet and a speaker along to it with a couple of coils, where then you're taking sound energy in, and then it's amplifying the current of the sound going into the system, and then from there you have a transformer in to one motor, and then the other motor with the ball bearings going, and then once you have it up and connected, it should technically keep itself going and have a little bit of over in it, pulling the energy in from the sound energy of the environment. Radio, solar does it with light waves, and you can do it with heat waves as well, and also hydro, right? So it's like that's something I'm going to be working a lot on, is replicating. I also have a ranch with a creek out in BC, so we will eventually start trying to do a couple hydroelectric projects too, with old washers and stuff like that.
Because it seems that was a big tech in the old world, like water wheels, but also they seem to be funneling water from rivers and canals through tunnels. We just can't find the tech that's at the end of the tunnels. It's all been ripped out, but
or also corroded away, right? If they had like copper from a while ago or iron from a while ago, and that's what I'm about to try to illustrate in Da Vinci's book here.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the book. And so Leonardo, he was 1400s. Is that correct?
1400s.
Yep. Cool.
Got the old typewriter there. Homage to my mom. He used to own a typewriting company.
All right.
That's bear claw. How well can you see this?
Yeah, pretty well.
Pretty well?
Yep, the light's pretty good there, yep. You can see the bear and...
Yeah, so that's like bear claw. And then there's so many suspicious things in here.
So what's this book called?
It is Leonardo da Vinci Sketches and Drawings, Frank Zollner.
Ah.
My mom bought it for me when I was younger, and like it's advanced physics and engineering like no other. And the most advanced ones that were allowed in here, like all the trolls and stuff, the different other creatures, it's something else. But the very advanced, see, like look at this, these monsters and stuff, 1500s. Where are they getting the lines for this? Unless it's always been around. And like such advanced anatomy, it is crazy, but the engineering is beyond next level. So I pointed out that bear earlier, and then look at this. That is a human with a vampire-like claw. All of these, and they're trying to claim these are bears, and it's like that's why I know what sort of monster was this actually? Like, oh man, just rabbit holes after rabbit holes.
Oh, sorry? Oh, wow.
Oh, right? Very, very, very.
It's just so detailed, isn't it? I mean, how is he even making these drawings? Because
right?
it's pretty hard to isolate organs, isn't it? Especially without all the fluids and things.
Right. Some are stamped, but the real advanced ones have the craziest of stamps. Oh, as well as studies of landscapes, water, and natural catastrophes. That is a huge thing. Up until World War I, all history was taught of catastrophism as opposed to this bullshit continental drift, as well as the fact that everyone was taught that Atlantis was our real history and Lemuria. And I highly recommend everybody check out Michelle Gibson's new interview talking about the Moors and Lemuria and what used to be, as it is really, really amazing stuff and really helps connect the dots. But most of your viewers already know what's going on.
Well, this is it. We've just been so disconnected from our past and from what we are, because this is a thing. Everything's energy, but we've been taught it's not. That's why so many people think all this is, woo-woo and stuff. But
right. And that reminds me of the conversation we have to have next time on etherical plane, and that being the disc plane and going sideways and traveling through the portals during alignments, and that, going to that upside down, going to the etherical disc, and that is how you, I guess, connect your consciousness into the other dimensions and realms. And it could also be how you can physically take yourself to the extended realms of the disc plane that we find, and essentially the Lord of the Rings in Middle Earth can have a whole new meaning and reality if you know where to enter the portal.
Yeah,
and get to the lands of the creatures.
I'm definitely into that.
I can't help but think that this just reminds me of Florida and the Gulf, but I don't know. It could be completely wrong. So this is one right here of a star fort that how good can you see this area?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So it, if you look at it, it really kind of looks like a modern day nuclear centrifuge or like a reactor of some sorts, with the two connected spheres going down, water all around it. And with this design here, that is your modern, like, what is it, like the laser and the Caesar, the lung sort of thing where it resonates around, just like in cathedrals, right? It's all straight advanced technology. So it looks at this point like they've inherited it. It's still in its shape, but they probably don't know how to operate it. And the cathedrals is, so Paul and I are going to be putting together one hell of a presentation on decoding the domes, and his video today, it connected so many dots. But basically, each spire has certain of these alchemy symbol of the planets and the metals. These guys. And I'm willing to bet that each one of the domes, so each symbol that's on top of the dome is also made of those same metals, and that the corresponding heavenly body's energy is somehow harnessed and used. And this could even be your portal technology of going to different planets when the alignments are there, for all we know. And it most likely is, and at the very least, it's a way, way more advanced energy system of harnessing and creation and all sorts of things. And so your Antiquitech at the bottom, and he's got numbers with the rotations. You have coils, it's all resonators, it's all capacitors, and it's all generators. Entire dimensional technology everywhere. And right here, you see that is
Can't see that.
It's more it's technology. Your Caesar, your Caesar is a sound laser, and a laser you'll have to bring up in when you edit it the diagrams for it, but it's the exact same as what these are, and it ties into like Michael Tellinger's work in the stones circles throughout Africa. But cathedrals are even more advanced generator capacitors than what those are, and it's on an exponential level. And it's like the diagrams of these cathedrals, the layouts are the same sort of circuitry as you have in your laser like circuit board or your sound board. This is just insane. And
so they're big, resonators.
But it's also electromagnetic current. The way they had the iron to steel running through, the way they had the copper, the way they had the glass plasma tubes, the gold wires, the silver wires, all of it, and the mirrors. Mirrors are also a huge way. Mirrors and light are a way to go sideways in portals in a lot of ways. I believe there's a whole other level of that.
So does
it's like these look like this.
Sorry, does Earth have like a metal? Like is Earth, because all the planets that we say,
right, I thought that too, and I believe that Earth could be zinc.
Zinc. So as far as portal technology, people can use that to come here, and we can use the other frequencies to go somewhere else.
Most likely, some sort, right? And like, did I go over with you yet on like when I left producing silver on silver with a little bit of copper monatomic for several months straight, and how the production of the monoatomic silver waxed and waned with the cycle of the moon, as well as when there was a super moon, it actually filled the entire bucket. So it's like it directly proved, like scientifically can be reproduced experiment that ties moon, which in the alchemical metals is silver, to the metal itself and its forces. So I want to do more experiments with these metals and where their positions are in the heavenly bodies.
Wow.
And that is why I think there is so much more to it.
Wow. So there could be something with gold and sorry, there could be something with gold and like equinoxes and things.
Gold silver is the moon, copper is Venus, iron is Mars. Those are all the closest.
So
tin
there's
is Jupiter. Is sulfur, lead.
And there's better times to grow all these different monoatomic metals, basically.
As well as the energies of them, right? And if copper is Venus, which we use for electricity, gold is the sun, moon is silver, right? We are using all of those, and iron being Mars, that's magnetism as well, right? So that's Ed Leeds Skull in Coral Castle, and that's why I also want to collaborate with Vinny Vincent there about Ed valued the lunar cycle more than anything, right? But he also did Saturn and a couple others in there, right?
Yeah,
so I think he was onto it as well.
Because he's got all those, all like the half moons and symbols and planets carved everywhere.
Right, and that goes back to the thing about the metals being a actual vector graph on where the cycle is, on where the moon is, or where any of these planets are to the center. And like that right there, that's your electron, that's your disk, that's your first dimensional plane, it's everything. And then it's like, is it below the vector now when you're moving this way, or above or below? Does it go, you see what I'm saying? And then here on the vector, so it's like it's up in the very corner of this area of the vector. You get what I'm saying? How it's going up and down, and like with your geometric shapes, when you're doing these calculations, it's just even more of this advanced, crazy, ancient, but universal language and structure of everything.
So that vector, is that almost like a figure eight kind of, like energies go down, then they come back up? And
graph, I'm just talking about physics of like your X and Y, like here, boop, boop. And then it's like your force is positive or negative, up or down, right? Left or right. And so then it's like, depending what shapes you're including, that's going to give you different points of references in this vector, depending what you're calculating. And it's combining shapes on all these different like elements, symbols, energies, and everything, but it's just the structure of how the universe works. And kind of like phi and the Fibonacci code, as well as the solfeggio frequencies and all the rest of it, right? And that's a whole nother class for another day.
It is. Do we know what resonates at 432?
I believe that. Oh, right, for metal. That's a good call, because that's probably the metal of Earth. I wonder if that is thing. We'll have to look into that, my friend.
Yeah, cool.
Which you also just reminded me. So the Daniel Nunes and those PoE vortex coils. They've reached out to me now, and we are going to be collabing on some experiments, and I'm going to be making some of their coils, and they're going to be nano coating some of their own, and we're going to cross research. And I encourage people to look into more of their work, and especially the growing benefits of these coils, combined with also looking into like the Keshi GANs growing, or Ormus growing, or Ken Wheeler there with theory of Apophis and his magnetic structured water. Like whatever your viewers are most into, just try to make these waters and first test it on growing food for themselves, keeping it in their fridges to try to extend the lives, and doing controls and documenting it so more and more people can have access to this and self-initiate themselves into these sciences and technologies, because
Definitely.
it's so simple and it's there, but we just have to be the change that we all want to see and continue to
I was just about to say that.
together to do it, right?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, and of course, I'll leave all the links to everyone that you've mentioned below for everyone to click on. So do go and check all these people out, support them. And we'll definitely be doing a show on how to set this all up and what you need to sort of set up and make your own monoatomic elements. Yep.
Exactly. I'll get a better camera here in the next couple of weeks going, and more of a lab setup, but let's try to at least do a weekly chat and
Definitely.
bring
Awesome.
some more people in. What, my friends?
Yeah. Well, we'll get on to Paul and Michelle and try and hook up a time and
Yeah,
have
that
a
for
banter
sure
bit.
is what we have to do. And like, because this right here, like this is so advanced engineering, and some of these look like actual magnetic generators and electric generators, and like this was 500, 600 years ago, like, and this is just what we're allowed to see. I know of pictures that show 3 different overbalanced wheels that he has that some people in China have replicated that are all working. I guess call them gravity wheels or whatnot. But like, look at that. Are you telling me this is not electric magnetics?
Yeah,
Or,
it's madness, isn't it?
and there's some even where there's an emphasis on like the parts that it's like, okay, that is magnets, but it's very faded. Like it's been gone through and edited, and I gotta find a couple of these really crazy ones. Yeah, like so this one, like, come on, that turned into a gravity wheel that works. And that's an explosion of some sort. Look at that explosion, like rocket technology on a boat. The famous possible UFO. And like, this is electrogravitics at its finest. That is not, like, they claim these are weapons. Well, maybe electric plasma weapons.
Yeah. Fascies and things. Oh, the world that's hidden from us, eh?
They're stamped with like very, very official looking stamps. So it's like these have been gone through many different times on levels of what's allowed to be made public, still hidden behind walls.
Yeah, right. Got a lot of censorship, eh?
Over and over, and it's like then people just become skeptic and they don't even believe it, and we're our own worst enemies. It's ridiculous. But the best thing is people are waking up, they're doing it themselves, and they're learning. This one, like, that definitely looks like electromagnetics. It's next level. It really, really is.
Awesome.
There's more. That's only book 1. I got number 2. But we'll do that next time. But
yeah, I think we will. Yeah, we've already got a few minutes left, but cool.
Do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, paintings.
Nice. That's something else too, is painting.
And I am just going to run back outside with you for the last 2 minutes to give you one more little look-see around.
Alrighty.
Basically, I got another guy Rick Lambert, good friend that he's electrical engineer. He's also made some of those PoE coils and experimented a bunch with the Solfeggio frequencies. And he lives mostly off grid. So I have some solar panels and some car batteries, and I have a whole bunch of different Christmas lights and festival lights left over that I'm going to be making a giant grid of solar panels with the lights first hooked up to start sharing how to make your own free energy, even if it's just little things at a time, but it's to teach everybody their own self-sufficiency. So at the very least, if power goes out, you'll still have some lights to be able to have at night, like
definitely. I mean, and we've got to start
and it's just going to go up from there.
Yeah, maybe everything's supposed to be on its own circuit.
Connecting different plasma batteries to each other. These are going to be filled. I literally have probably 20 different totes and coolers filled full of jars full of different electrical circuits and capacitors that I've made of these guys over the years. And we are going to do all sorts of crazy learning over the future of these lockdowns and be the change everybody needs and wants to see in this world.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Let's use it to our advantage. Hey, we're all at home. Let's start tinkering and getting off the grid. Even if we can't, get out of the cities now, we can at least get off the grid a bit and start moving towards that world that we all want.
Exactly. And as for conferences and stuff, I recommend people check out APEC on Saturday, anyone that's into physics and engineering, because they're all about anti-gravity, stuff like that. And also on that tech level, both Daniel Nunes and as well Vinny St. Vincent there.
Cool. Yeah.
Channels.
Awesome.
And I'm also going to be doing collabs right away with Olaf there, because he speaks Russian extremely fluently, and lots of the Russian channels now as well have been producing some good results with over unity experiments. So we're going to approach a few channels there and work together on probably those projects first.
Cool. I've actually got a couple of Russian books. I might pass them across to you. You can send them to Olaf and see what he thinks of them. But also I was just going to say as well, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, guys, you don't need a degree or letters behind your name or anything. Just start getting into it, watch the videos, learn, be autodidactic, self-taught. And yeah, it's all
like your name says, brother.
Exactly. That's what we're all about. Yeah, like we said, together we'll all get there, suss this out and bring back the old world tech. So we just have to stop paying these parasites.
Right? Stop waiting for someone else to do it and just pick up a wire and start coiling it.
And start, grabbing any scrap bits of metal that you see lying around, copper, brass, all this kind of stuff. And we'll show you what to do with it.
Also, batteries. It's that easy, and we will teach you the ways to come in the coming weeks and months. And in the meantime, check out the links in the description.
Awesome.